Hello everyone, this is AB Creative. I hope you're all good. Now, in today's video we are going to be painting a fiery butterfly with a trail of color that makes it almost look like it's flying. It's super easy and so much fun, so let's get right into it. Now in today's episode I'm going to use the longer canvas that I used in the previous one when I made my dove. Some of you might remember this, so that was the painting. And I thought I'm going to make something matching, perhaps not another dove, something different. So this canvas is 50 centimeters by 20. And I thought I want to make another creature moving or flying, and I'm going to make a butterfly. I did make some butterflies before with my chains, but this one will be very different and this one is going to be much easier. First of all, I've been making my own templates, so I drew a butterfly. Not really seen from the front, but slightly angled. If you can't draw a butterfly freehand, I recommend finding an image you like on the internet. Find one that's royalty free, unless you want to buy it. And then just trace it using tracing paper. And then you just cut it out like I'm doing now. I would probably, if I was to choose my favorite colors, which are all blues, I would go for a really nice blue butterfly. But because I made the blue canvas for the dove, I think I would choose one of those more common butterflies, the ones that are yellow and brown and orange. I'm using at the moment, this is Frisket paper. There's a link in my description if you want to use it. I always list all my products in the description. Butterfly is ready. Forgive my dirty hands, but I've already been mixing some paints, as you can imagine. It's ready to be stuck. Now, where shall we position him? You have to remember that it's going to go this way. Once I peel the Frisket paper, it's going to be facing the other way. Let me check with the dove how high that was. That will help. Somewhere here would be nice. I'm going to make a dot where I want him or her. And now let's just peel it. Oops. Position it gently, so that if I need to move it, I'll move it. So let's just stick it on nicely. I'm going to flip the canvas over and make sure that it really adheres well. I'm going to use just undiluted paint and rub all around the edges. It prevents paint seeping underneath the stencil. You can use a brush. I just like touching paint and I can feel the edge, so it kind of works well for me. It would be nice if you could leave a comment if you use something that works really well for you. These are the paints we're going to use: burnt amber, pale green, pearl cactus green, gold, pearl papaya orange, scarlet red, lemon yellow, pearl copper gold, alizarin crimson, that's the paint by Liquitex, pearl golden hour, bronze. These three colors, I'm trying to mix green. They'll be pleasing for me. Not so vibrant, not so cool. Just like a mixture of these three. And then I'm going to dilute it with white and make three different shades of the same. We'll see in a minute what I mean. This one here. This is going to be my base green color, but I definitely don't want it to be so green like grass. No, that's an interesting color. I really like it, but it's very pale. There's a hint of blue in this cactus green, touch of burnt amber. This is something much nicer. I've got this really nice olive color. Now, if you want to mute the color a bit more, if it's still too vibrant, you can add just a drop of black. That usually works really well. Now I'm adding Floetrol. This is the British Floetrol. It's much thicker than the American one. I think I've added probably two-thirds of Floetrol to 1/3 of paint. Still very thick. I'm going to dilute it with water now. Spray some water. I just look at the consistency. Oh, I'm going to add a bit of white to create some nice gradation of tone. So one part will be just this color, as you can see, and we will have lighter and the third one darker. So this is the one I'm going to add white to. So can you see? Well, maybe a bit touch more. I wonder if you can see well the difference in color. I'm going to show you the consistency of the paint. You see how it runs off the stick? And the build-up disappears straight away. I don't think I've mentioned that I'm actually planning to make the butterfly golden, just gold. And then the trail coming from him is going to be multicolored. So this is our lightest paint. I'm going to spread it gently because I do want to see what the butterfly is. I'm not going to flood the whole canvas. There's always more paint than you think. I thought there wouldn't be enough, but it's plenty. And I will do the edges later anyway. Okay, I think it's time to add a bit of the darker green. I do want these to blend nicely. Now I'm going to be adding just a little bit of green here. This mint green, and also not that much here because I want to do a swipe. My mum is very fond of green, so I'm sure she will love it. Once I covered the section really nicely, I'm just going to touch this bit with my finger because I want it a bit moist. At the same time, I want to see the area for different colors. Just wiping the edges. Don't want any drippings. All I want to prevent is the red mixing with green, so I'm going to actually start with the yellows. Yellow close to green is absolutely fine. I'm going to drizzle it randomly. You can see now I didn't put too much paint here because I didn't want everything to sink into the greens. That's probably enough of yellow, maybe. It's a lot. How about some of this copper? Now, because I haven't got any paint underneath, I have to make sure all this area is covered. Now my orange. It's going to be a very happy painting. Red. This was bronze, so this is copper. Another metallic color by Arteza. That looks like a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so what's missing? Maybe a drop of this, what was it? Alizarin crimson. Just wondering whether there's enough yellow. Oh, I think we need a bit of black, don't we? Okay, I managed to cover all the gaps. Well, I'm pretty cautious with black, but I think I have to add just a bit. Now for the gold, I'm going to put a drop of silicone, just one drop. One, okay. And I'm going to mix it really well. If you don't mix it well, your cells will be pretty big, and I actually don't want huge cells. I want small ones. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add gold all around the edges of my butterfly. Okay, let's just hope that this is going to look nice once I swipe it to the very end. I'm spraying my napkin with water, just a bit, and I'll start with this section. And I can see that the gold is kind of spreading already. Wow, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's just do this part. Wow, look at these. Oh, they are gorgeous. Oh, I love them. Okay, so now that leaves me with this section. Yes, 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 yes. So if we add a bit more color here, and I'll just drag this bottom part. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so happy. Sorry, sorry guys. I did not expect actually to work so well on green, but it did. It absolutely did. So let's make it a bit longer. Just touching the gold, nothing else. And even some wispy lines. Oh, yeah, that's nice. And it's going to be all nice and shiny once the gold is dry, the gold and the copper and the bronze. Okay, so I'm leaving it now. You know, since my last risky move actually worked and I peeled the dove once it was wet, it's just partially getting dry now. It's a bit tacky. So I am doing it again, which I don't recommend. I am peeling it off. Trying to be super careful. Really don't want to spoil it. Okay, well, not too bad. There's some cleaning I have to do, but overall, not too bad. I am going to paint the butterfly gold anyway, but I can just clean some sections using Q-tips. And this is the following day. The painting is almost dry. It's almost dry. There are just some sections here that are still wet. You can see the gold shining. Look at this. And I'm pretty happy. It's darker now. It looks darker. But because this section here is, I can touch it. Nothing is wet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint my butterfly using gold paints. However, I've been thinking it doesn't have to be the same uniform gold. I've got a couple of golden paints by Arteza. I don't use this one much. This is Pale Golden Hour, and it looks lighter than the one I used. So how about starting with the lightest one and then perhaps getting some shadows with the darker gold. See how light this is. Oh, this is very light. Wow. Okay, I'll still have to do probably 2, maybe even 3 layers in some places. So let's just cover it with the light one. As usual, I'll be very careful around the edges. The mid part doesn't really matter. It's really light. Maybe I should have started with the darker gold. What do you think? Do you think I should go over with the darker one now? I concluded it was too yellow, so I've been covering it with the regular gold. So one coat is ready. Now I'm applying a second coat of gold. You can see how nicely that covers. Just keeping it all one direction. Since the background is not white, it's gold, so just adding a bit of this lovely pale golden hour. That's the name. I wonder if you can see any difference. I hope you can see some lighter shadows here. As you've noticed, I'm brushing towards the middle because I don't want any lines going in the wrong direction. I want the wings to look as natural as possible, even though it's just a silhouette. I might use a smaller brush for the edges, and then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to create some shadows underneath the butterfly so that it can look more 3D. And I think that's going to help it stand out against the background. I think I forgot the little antennae. I'm using the light gold. I've got such a thin brush, but I wish I had even thinner. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to create some shadows along the wings so the butterfly will kind of pop more, stand out more. I am using Mars Black, but I am just diluting it with water. So as you can see, this is like light grey. I can always add more black if I want to, but this is the first just testing it. I think I like it like this. See what a difference it makes, some bit of contrast. The light is kind of coming from the top, so I am shadowing this part. Okay, what do you think? It stands out much more, doesn't it? I know it's just a stencil, so it should be all gold, but a little bit of shadow here. Okay, I think I am probably done. Well, what do you think? It would be great if you could leave me a comment and tell me your thoughts. Look at the gold. This is for someone who loves gold. It's so shiny. But when you look at it just from here, you actually don't see that much gold. Once I varnish it, I'm going to take you for a close-up. Time to varnish now. Because I used 1 drop of silicone in my swipe, I had to wash it nicely. So I got rid of all the silicone residue, just using soapy water and a sponge. And now it's ready for varnish. I'm going to use Minwax Polyacrylic varnish. And the first thing I'm going to do, just a very quick thin layer using my brush. And I mean really quick. You should not be really going over the part you've covered. Okay, I'll come back to it once the first layer is dry. Now, I've been always on the lookout for some really good varnish because I sometimes struggle with getting a really nice coverage. This is 1 layer of the polyacrylic. 2 hours later, I just want to show you the difference because with this one, I sprayed this one with Liquitex varnish. So this is 1 layer of Liquitex spray, high gloss. I wonder if you can see the difference. This one seems like richer and thicker. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to apply a second coat, but I will not be using a brush this time. So what I've invented, I'm actually going to swipe with this plastic. It kind of works best for me. Don't know what you think, but just want to apply enough. It's a longer canvas. I think I'll do the edges with a brush. The second layer is dry. I just have to show you. Look at this. Well, I think so far, this is probably my favorite varnish. And the green, it looks so amazing, looks so lush. And now let's take a look at the finished piece. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you think of my 2 pieces side by side? Be sure to check out the Dove if you haven't yet and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Every Saturday I premiere a new video and chat with my lovely subscribers, so why not join me? Let me know what you would like to see me paint next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.